talking to a person, you usually know how they're going to, hopefully you'll know how they receive it. When I spoke with this person, I definitely knew from the way the conversation was going that she was ready to receive the information that I had for her. And I did also want to make a comment, and someone stated that if a person is hurting themselves, you should tell them. If it is about me feeling better, then it's completely out of bounds.
That's a good point.
Right.
Good point.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying in the beginning. You got to examine your motivations for telling people.
So is it appropriate to tell someone else to clean up their act? Like when you know, like
don't
Tina
give me no
was
just
saying,
no.
You going down a down spiral, and you see this person is damaging themselves and other people around them, but you don't say nothing.
I couldn't do that personally. I couldn't do that. I mean, no, I'm saying I could not let them go in the downward spiral. Look at Tracy.
Right, Tracy.
It's like, what? You couldn't tell? No, in fact, I could tell them quite easily. So I've had to learn to develop tact, which is why I'm able to say use tact with it, because I have been able to just blurt it out. So if I saw someone going on a downward spiral, I would have to say something. I just couldn't let that happen. Now if they continue to choose to go that route or what have you, that's their choice. But I feel like I would need to do that as a friend who loves them. This is what I'm seeing. I don't even know if you realize that this is what's going on or what have you. Because a lot of times when people are in their mess, so to speak, they don't even realize that what it is. They're used to it. People are just used to the confusion, the chaos, the whatever is going on. And so.
One thing I can say on that, my best friend and I, we hold each other accountable for everything. And there's no mess going on with our lives, but if she see my slip hanging, so to speak, she's like, come on back, Brenda. This is not you. You're stuck in a rut here. She'll lift me up. And I consider that a true friend. And Tracy, you're like that too. And as well as my sister. I'm getting all my shout out to my girls and my two ladies here on the desk table here with him. Look, him, my husband, who ain't even paying any attention. But
I heard you, him.
Oh, okay, him.
When you said him, I heard you.
You're the only him, so that's a good thing. But I do like when women especially women hold each other accountable. When you know you into some stuff, it's like, just say, hey, Brenda, your ponytail on crooked. Say something. Pull me back. But one of my other questions is this one: should a person revisit an old situation or focus on new things that may occur this year, Talayah?
I think the only reason you should revisit an old situation is if you can get the lesson from it, learn from the lesson, and then move forward. You can't drive a car looking in the rearview mirror, as they say. So if you can take that lesson and move forward, then by all means do that. But you can't live in the past. You have to focus on the future and what your purpose is going forward.
Well, I'm doing you, Mr. Rick. What is that book about right there?
Light bulb moments. All right, Inquiring Minds 101. Light bulb moments, 75 lessons for everyday living. There's actually 76. I slipped another one in. But they are how you get those everyday life lessons from, how you get a deeper meaning from an everyday occurrence. And some of them were just those things, Brenda, how something happened, and that's how I got over something and moved on, by getting the lesson from it and writing about it. Also, we're taking a picture of the book now, so I'm distracted. Okay, some of them are just about everyday things, lessons like friendship, appreciating what you have. So some of them are things that just, as I'm walking in nature on the lakefront, or sometimes I'll get on the treadmill every once in a while, but, I just feel like God just reveals things to me through those ordinary occurrences, and I can apply those life lessons to other people to just kind of help them on their journey.
Okay, now is that in Amazon as well?
It's on Amazon. It's on bn.com. You can get Kindle Nook or iTunes if you have a reader. It's in Barnes & Noble stores, and any bookstore can order it. I would love to have it in your church bookstore. It's in some church bookstores. Yeah. It's not in yours yet, so we can work on that.
Okay.
I'd love to do, as I'm sure Tina
is
also available for speaking engagements.
The Passion
workshops.
of the Shrine would be nice to have that in there. You ever tried that? Yeah, that's a great place. Yeah. Definitely a good place.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, and as we got another authors all in the house. Rebirth and Rejoice is not in the trunk, but Rebirth and Rejoice. Talk to us about that book.
Well, Rebirth and Rejoice, that was my first book, And it's Rebirth and Rejoice, the Beginner's Guide, and a testimony to living a Christian life. And what that book is about is somewhat autobiographical, but it's also helping people to learn how to have a relationship with God. A lot of people think that God is just this supreme ethereal being, which he is definitely, but I want people to know that they're able to have that personal relationship. And you hear that in church a lot. You know, people probably grew up in church, you know, you got to have your own personal relationship with God. But a lot of times it still seems harder than what it actually is. And so in my book, Rebirth and Rejoice, The Beginner's Guide and a Testimony to Living a Christian Life, it's just to help people know that it may not be as hard as they may think, and it may not be as intimidating or as threatening or what have you. All it requires is that they get some time, some quiet time, and just, you know, speak to him and say, God, I need to know you. I want to hear from you. Let me know that you are there. And you'll start to see some things being revealed to you. And if you open yourself up, you know, to realize this is him, he's been with you all along, letting you know that he's there. He's been guiding you. He's been protecting you and what have you, but you may not have realized that was him. So that's what that book is about. And then the second book is How to Be Happy and Successfully Single. And that one,
I don't want that one.
I'm
joking though. For singles, you can have it, but I don't ever want to be single again.
Well, what it is the first book is to help people to have a good relationship with God.
Amen.
And the second book is to help people to have a relationship with themselves prior to getting married.
Amen.
And
like that.
A lot of times people do not get to know themselves, love themselves, be honest with themselves prior to getting into a relationship. They get into a relationship, and whatever muggity muck that they've had from past relationships is brought into the next relationship. And you know, it may work or what have you, but I think it gives it it's that much more harder or what have you to work at that new relationship, because you brought all stuff, baggage, whatever, from the past into it. And I'm not even saying necessarily from the past as far as male-female relationships. It can be from the past as far as your parental relationships, as far as your work relationships, as far as, you know, your cousin, whatever, you know, family, friends.
So what's that book again?
How to Be Happy and Successfully Single.
So we're going to have both of those books on our website, and you can also see them. I think Tracy put one of them up there, and Tina's going to go get a copy of her book so we can put it out there as well. Hey, one of the things you all have heard about coming clean in 2015, I don't know if you're through, baby, I'm just going to throw this out real quick, is that we're talking about the best way to come clean. If you're talking to a friend and you want to help them, if you really want to help them, then it's good that you're reaching out to them. But I would always say, as a man of God, is that you make sure that your decision is based on God moving and directing you to do what is right. Coming clean is not easy, you know, and even if it's just for ourselves, it's not easy. But make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. And I would advise you always to go to God in prayer to make sure that the decisions that you're making will clean you, you know, because the blood cleanses. The blood still works. But if you're going to clean yourself out, you've got to have something that can continuously keep you clean and always provide you clean. Because let me tell you something, you're going to be clean one day and dirty the next. But because God has cleansed you through the blood of his body, you can be clean for life forevermore. So salvation is the key for 2015, being clean. Baby, what you got to say? We going to the McCain train. We finna do that last stop. What we finna do, girl?
Oh, you want me to pull us in?
Well, you're going to pull us in a few seconds.
Okay, well, the McCain train is pulling into our last stop. And we want to thank Talayah. Don't you love that name? What does Talayah mean?
Talayah in Hebrew means dew of heaven. And in Farsi, it means golden ray of sun.
And Brenda just means sword.
Oh, well, that's good. Sword, you got to have a sword sometimes,
I will
too.
cut you. Right?
Oh!
Sword. I'm like, it's so unromantic. But anyway. And yours is what? Righteous man, upstanding man, or something?
Yeah, well, you know that. But go ahead.
And the lovely Tina. I don't know what your name means. Do you know what I mean?
I forget. I do. I have it actually on my bedroom wall, but I don't remember what it is.
We're going to call you the lovely one with Tracy. What's yours, Tracy?
Hers is Harvester. Okay.
Right, man, you got this, whatever. But we want to thank you guys for joining us on the McCain train tonight, because they let me talk tonight, Rick.
No, nobody stopped you from talking the last time.
Yeah,
You
we
just
won't
couldn't
go
jump in
there.
there with the men. That's
No,
all. I can hang with the women. I know how to do double dutch. I can
whatever,
jump in with y'all now.
whatever,
Come on now.
whatever.
I can hang. But go ahead, girl.
But anyway, because we do have some minutes left, what I want to say about sincerely with the coming clean is sticking with me what Talayah said about what is your intent and your motive. And I was watching something, and someone probably could pick this scenario up a couple of weeks ago. It's one of those shows that ladies like to watch. When someone found out someone was dating someone, instead of just sitting back and being quiet in the midst of this party that was going on, she just bust her out. Oh, I dated him, and that was so wrong to me. It's like, you don't do that. But her intent was to cut that person to me. So when you're saying, what is your intent? It's so many situations out there, and I, for one, have to ask God, check me first, because I really want to come clean with someone, and I really want to cut this person loose. But God keeps telling me not yet.
Not me on my show, girl. Come
No,
on.
not you,
Okay.
baby. No,
Thank
not
you, Jesus.
Not
Thank you,
you.
Jesus.
It's a female,
Okay.
sweetie, not
All right.
you. I
Okay.
need you.
All right. Thank
But
you,
this
boo.
person, for years, I keep saying, I got to let this person go. And God keep whispering, just like Tina said, when you get to know God, how your relationship, when he speaks to you, she know who it is. He speaks to you, and the thing is, he keeps telling me, no, don't do it. But this year, I pray and pray. I don't hear that yet, and I'm like, that's a green light. I need
No,
to
it
jump.
ain't no green light until God says yes. You
Well,
don't
he
do
didn't
nothing.
say nothing.
And
Well,
if
until
he's
God
been
says
telling
yes,
you
you don't do
not
nothing.
to,
Already
it must be a
told you,
reason
Brenda.
for it.
Right.
Right.
You-
He already
How many
told
times
you.
do I have
Now,
to repeat
right. And have you said, okay, well, if I can't let her go, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing?
I
What-
done prayed on
Okay.
that and
Yeah,
said,
keep on
what
praying,
is it I
girl.
need to
We're
do?
gonna make sure
Okay.
you find your salvation in that answer.
And see how it's turned around? It's on
Because
me.
you know what? Let me tell you something. We all want to do certain things because we think that it's right. And a lot of times coming clean means that we want to do what we believe is right. But if you're a child of God, you wait until God gives you the answer to make a decision.
So he didn't say nothing
You know,
this
so
time. I
saying
thought that was
nothing
the
means
answer.
wait. If he ain't saying nothing, that means you wait. And let me tell you something. Coming clean for 2015 is all about a personal new you. This is not something that you do because you're trying to be negative or hurtful or spiteful or vindictive. It's about you changing your life to make sure your life is better for you. And can I say this because I'm a preacher? The greatest decision you can make is by having Jesus Christ as your Lord and personal Savior. And if I lost a couple of people, so be it. But this is a religious soul. We do things because of the grace of God. And so if you're coming clean in 2015, do it because it's something that you know that you need to do for your life. Not because someone is telling you to do it, not because someone's asking you to do it, because you know that it's a life-changing decision that you need to make so you can be a better you. Hey, I want to thank our guests also, Mrs. TG Talayah over there, and Mrs. Swain on the McCain train.
Thank
and
you.
I always like to thank my baby. I'm going to tell you something. You all might think, because I do all the talking and stuff like that, I'm the head of the thing, and I am. But this show would be nothing without what Brenda does in the background. So I thank you, baby, for everything that you do for this show. And I'm coming clean to let people know that this show is not successful without God and you. And so I thank you very much for all
Love
that
you,
you
baby,
do.
as we get down.
Hey, man,
wrap it up.
I wish y'all stop. I don't need nobody constantly keeping me right up. I can see the clock. Okay, you doing your job. You just stay over there and look pretty. Don't be. I see. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all got to give me some help with all these women coming here. They telling me what to do.
That's
I
right.
need some help. I can see the clock right up there, y'all. Okay. When the music plays, like it's playing now, I done told y'all that many a times. Hey, this is Reverend Rick McCain on the McCain train. I need some help. Brothers, y'all got to start calling me now. Thank you for listening to the Let's Stay Together show. We hope you'll see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. I just want to say real quick, thank you for listening. Woo, woo, woo!
Log on to urbanbroadcastmedia.com and check out the many services Urban